Cussing a sin. This is a question that's becoming more popular in Christian circles today. Now, I don't think it's a stretch to say we live in a day where specific four-letter words, curse words, cuss words, swear words that once were considered off-putting are now being used with regularity. You know, it amazed my wife and I as we would take our kids to the local park to hear the youngest of kids using these four-letter words, these curse words, these swear words, as if it was a part of their normal vocabulary, many times with the parents right around them. And that's not to mention that pastors now, and in many circles, will use words that were deemed off limits in the pulpit, or they'll use it amongst their congregants. So we come back to the question, is cussing a sin? Well, I believe that we can say with confidence that it is. And the reason why is because the Bible condemns unwholesome speech. Consider with me Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29 says that we are to let no unwholesome word proceed from our mouth, but only such a word as is good for edification, according to the need of the moment. And then you got the purpose, so that it will give grace to those who hear. And now consider with me Ephesians chapter 5, verse 3 and 4. But immorality or impurity or greed must not even be named among you, as is proper among saints. And there must be no filthiness and silly talk or coarse jesting, which are not fitting, but rather giving of thanks. A person is going to be hard-pressed, considering the clarity of these verses, to convince that curse words, cuss words, swear words, or whatever else you want to describe them as, do not fit within this biblical condemnation. But what about some of the common arguments for cursing, like the Christian liberty arguments? Let me give you a couple. One argument is that words have different meanings in different contexts. For example, the word mist. In America, we understand the word mist to mean a fog or a light cloud. But what about in Germany? The term mist actually means dung. It means manure. So that's one of the arguments. Another argument is words don't possess intrinsic meaning. It's argued that because we come up with words and we assign the meaning to words, that they technically don't have any intrinsic moral value. Now, these may seem like valid and solid arguments, but if you just slow down and think about them a little bit more, you realize that they're fraught with problems. And mainly, and most importantly, we don't communicate in that way. We don't understand communication in that way. Good communication demands a shared language. See, without a shared language, people would just be talking past each other. A shared language allows one to speak something and then the other to be uplifted. A shared language allows a person to say something, maybe even purposely, and to bring someone down. You see, it's a shared language that is needed for good and necessary communication. And so when we come to the question, is cursing a sin, is cussing a sin, is swearing a sin, when we're just honest with each other and we live in a society in a context that has a shared body of words where we know that this specific word is offensive, to try to argue that it's not, or to use some argument of Christian liberty, I think is fraught with challenges. And so, as we saw very clearly in God's word, God desires our words to be uplifting. God desires our words to be edifying. God desires our words to bring him glory. And God desires our words to match what it looks like to be set apart from the world. So is cussing a sin? Yes, it is. May we use our words for the glory of God.